Welcome to the Success with Jewelry podcast, where we invite you inside our conversations about business success and marketing for jewelry designers and entrepreneurs.
We're Laryssa and Liz, jewelry marketing experts with a combined 16 years of experience in jewelry marketing and proven track records in helping jewelry brands meet their goals. When you listen to or watch this podcast, you get an intimate and exclusive peek behind the curtain of all the things you wish you could know about earning success in this industry.
Welcome to episode number 27. In this episode, Laryssa and I will be talking about what marketing tactics are working now. More specifically, a look at Q1 so far and what's changed, what to focus on in your business now, and tips to take action. We also want to tell you about our insider community. When you join for only $20 a month, you'll have access to extended episodes full of tips that you can start implementing today and further resources about each topic we discuss. To get access to this exclusive content, sign up by visiting successwithjewelry.com. Hey, Laryssa, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's talk about what we've been observing so far this year, because so much has changed since 2020. It's kind of like all over the place. What's happening now? What can we anticipate? Like it can really be overwhelming for business owners today. So that's why we want to do this episode.
Yes. So I think that one of the big things that's changed so far in Q1, which is kind of an unexplainable change, but engagement on social media has been down, not just Instagram, but other platforms too. I know TikTok's very sporadic for creators as well. And I don't have a great answer of why that's happening. It could be that Instagram is making changes on the back end of their platform, and sometimes that affects things. The head of Instagram recently said that they were going to shift back to focusing more evenly on photos and videos. So maybe that's affecting things. I also think that people are maybe a bit more passive in how they are consuming content, and they're just scrolling. I know me personally, I'm often just scrolling and I have to consciously say, oh, I want to make a comment on this. And it takes more energy than it used to.
I'm the same exact way. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that that's one thing that's been really different and has been hard on a lot of businesses. And I think something else that is why we're simply just scrolling and not commenting and not engaging more, and why people in general are kind of in that space right now, is because people are feeling burnt out. Are you feeling burnt out?
I'm definitely feeling burnt out, but I kind of always am.
I know, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you kind of have to just power through the burnout. And I think that we've been in this, the past 3 years of like pivoting and, doing everything we can to keep our businesses alive and thinking about, new ways to make them successful. I think we're all just like really tired at this point. And, I think that one way you can really overcome that is by giving yourself time and space to create. And that's something that was a tip we got from one of the designers on Instagram that follows us. So give yourself time to create. That's something I try to do for myself, is give myself, space and, not too many meetings on a given day so that I just have a little bit more time. But I think that we're all feeling just very burnt out.
Yeah, I think if you're a business owner, you have anything to do with marketing in your business, and we are marketers, so it's us all day long. Marketing is just changing so rapidly, like day by day. There's new best practices, new tools, new technologies that just trying to keep up with that can be like its own form of burnout.
Definitely. And something that's been coming, a change that's been coming, but I think is really here now, is online and offline merging. So again, for the past few years, we've been focused so much on online because we had to. And maybe we gained new audiences there. Maybe we figured out new ways of selling our product. But now people are really shopping in person and wanting to see things in person. So we need to think about how we can still nurture that online audience, but be offline and in person more frequently, and how we can make those two things work together.
I think that really is the key moving forward in this year and beyond, is like finding a way to combine those two modes of selling and marketing to your customers.
Definitely. So that's what we really think has changed. Now we're going to get into kind of what to focus on in your business now, or what we've seen is working for us and our clients. And the first and foremost is email marketing, which we just did a whole series about this. Laryssa and I have been advocates for email marketing for a while now because we see it working.
Yeah. We know there's haters out there. We hear you, but you can't deny the numbers. Email marketing works. So you can be a hater, but it will help you grow your business, especially if you're able to build a solid list of people that you know love your brand.
Yeah. So be leveraging your social media audiences, be leveraging your in-person events to grow your email list, to get people to join, and stay really consistent with it. Stay really in strong alignment with the other content you're putting out there, and you will see it being successful. The other thing to focus on, and kind of in a similar regard to email marketing, is thinking outside of Instagram. So not having all of your eggs in the Instagram basket, just because it has been, if only 10% of your audience is seeing your content there, you really need to be thinking about how else you can reach them. And I'm going to mention some other social media sites that have been talked about as ones to think about or focus on, but it doesn't mean you have to do all of these. You want to think about where your audience is before you kind of jump into putting too much on your plate. But LinkedIn is getting a lot of buzz right now. If you have maybe a more corporate clientele, or you come from a different career and you have an audience on LinkedIn, that could be one to tap into. Another one that's really getting some traction now, or seems to be, is Pinterest. So that's something that you could think about utilizing for your business. And then the third one, of course, is TikTok. But if you're going to consider TikTok, really think about, are you trying to reach a younger audience? Because that is really who's on TikTok. It doesn't mean it wouldn't work for your brand if you're not pursuing a younger audience, but really think about if that makes sense for you.
Yeah. And being committed, not only knowing that your audience is spending time on whatever platform you're choosing, but being committed to learning the best practices of posting on that platform, because each one is different.
Yes, very different. So make sure you have time and space to be putting energy there. The other thing that's really working now is personalized marketing. So we talked about recently segmenting your emails so that you are reaching an audience, and it feels more appropriate to what they're interested in. It feels more targeted. It feels more in line with what they're thinking about. So segmenting is a way to really think about personalized marketing. Also, like using automations, or using ways to put in like personalized, like put your customer's name in the subject line or in the body of the email. There's a lot of ways that you can do that. Thinking about how you can get more personal. And I think that, yes, like, using the tactics for mass marketing to do that is great. But I also think that direct outreach goes a long way. And while that sounds like it might take up more of your time, be really thoughtful about it. So think about your top clients, think about people who are always engaging with your content, or maybe responding to your emails. How can you nurture those people more in a direct way? The next thing is short form video content, which, we were just talking about. TikTok is a platform to watch, or a platform to kind of pay attention to. Even though I'd mentioned the head of Instagram is saying that they're going to kind of recalibrate how they're putting out video and photo content and make it more even. Video is still really important. As we discussed, like merging the online and offline, showing something in video, showing your face is a way to kind of bridge that. So definitely be adding it to your strategy. And then another thing that's really working right now is focusing on customer experience. And it's interesting because when I was working in jewelry, like long before the pandemic, and we were talking about millennial shopping habits, they were all about the customer experience. And it's kind of circled back to that. Your customer experience always is, of course, has been important, but I think even more so now. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing this popularity of the permanent jewelry, because it's an experience to go and get a bracelet welded to you with all of your friends. So think about how you can create an experience for your customers, even if that means like, a brand I always talk about is May Lindstrom. But when I get a package from her, she always has a handwritten note. And that's just part of like the beautiful experience of purchasing her product. So think about how you can elevate that experience for your customers. And then we have content marketing. So content marketing is so important, and it's something that's underutilized, especially in the jewelry industry. And you should be telling your story. You should be telling the story of how you are inspired by and why you created your product and how you create your product. utilizing content marketing is really important to think about right now.
I'm all in on content marketing in 2023. I wish more brands were like leaning into it because jewelry is story and story is content, and content creates relationships with people and inspires them to take action and be loyal to you. So I think it's really important to think about the content that you're sharing and also creating it, not just to create it because we told you to, but like having a purpose and goal and an action that you want people to take, whether that's to have people like learn more about a certain part of your story or to share like more about your materials or how you source things, whatever it is, think about what that means for your brand.
Yes. And the last thing I'll say is collaborations. I'm seeing a lot of bigger brands doing collaborations that are kind of outside of the box and unexpected. I think it's to reach a new audience, and also just build some buzz and excitement about their brand. So I think that thinking about how you could collaborate with a like-minded brand or somebody cool that you want to do something with to reach a new audience is something to think about doing. And we'll just wrap this up with a few tips to take action. First and foremost, know your goals, know your brand, know your audience. So get clear on those things if you're not already, because this will make everything you're doing so much easier. And it will help kind of direct you of what you should be moving towards and what you should be focusing on. The other thing is to look at what's working in your business. So this is why it's so good to be reporting, pulling data, taking notes after you do any kind of promotion or event or anything like that, because then you'll have a really clear understanding of what's working and you want to be doing more of that. Also, make changes strategically. So don't listen to this episode and hear everything we're saying and try to do it all. Think about, again, like being really strategic about these changes you're making. And also, focus before you diversify. So it takes usually like 3 to 6 to 9 months before things start paying off, especially when you're using tactics like content marketing. It's a longer game. So make sure you're focusing on the things that you have strategically decided to do before adding on a bunch more things.
Yeah. And I think to Liz's point about the strategic changes, like some business owners, like maybe they don't feel confident about marketing. They think they're making mistakes. They're not sure if they're doing the right thing. But I can tell you the biggest mistake that you can make, and if you're aware of this, you won't do it, is to just implement things like willy-nilly. Like just if you have an idea, we're going to do it, or like whatever comes to mind. But the truth is you have to like filter that through what Liz said, your goals, your audience, your brand. Does it make sense? And not just like going by the wind, you know?
Yes, definitely. And I love that you use the term willy-nilly because that was fun. All right. We want to know, how's your Q1 going? Let us know. You can visit successwithjory.com to sign up for the extended episode as well as exclusive content. Thank you so much for listening.